I gotta click on that.
Yeah. Okay, so as always, anybody who's this turning on the recording is preemptive, but anybody who performs will have the option to have their section clipped if you would be more.
Well, if everybody hates it, clip it. So,
it's
all right.
totally up to you, and there is no judgment whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay. So Jackie, what will you be performing for us today?
Torn and restored dollar bill.
Okay, take it away, Jackie.
Okay. I have here a dollar bill, and right before your very eyes, I'm going to change it. So here we go. Now I have two $half. Now, how is a dollar bill like the moon? Anybody know? Well, they both have 4 quarters. That was a joke. Anyway, so they both have 4 quarters. 4 quarters. All right. I have one more question for you. Why do we call money dough?
Why?
Because we all need it.
Ooh.
Well, and that's what I'm doing right here. I'm kneading this. So
Oh, Jackie.
I am trying to knead it. These are hard to fold. So. Okay. Oops. Trying to knead it in there. Okay. Smoila. Oops.
Wow.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, fantastic. Nicely done.
Nice
Thank
shot, Jackie.
All right. Any comments? Any thoughts?
I like the jokes because they really fit in well with what you were actually doing. I thought that was great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
The pattern was good, yeah.
Thank you.
The jokes were great. It really made it, it gave a touch of personality to it. You weren't just saying, now I am doing this and now I am doing this. I mean, it was really, it was really fun. That was great. Nicely done. And the jokes were both terrible and perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So is it okay to leave this in, or would you prefer it?
Yeah, you can leave it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you.
And we also had Ron.
Yes.
Ron, okay, now I can see you.
Yeah.
I can barely see you though.
Oh, well, I don't know why I'm here.
Well, you're backlit.
You got the wrong.
Wrong Ron. Sorry. Oh, you're Ann here. Got it.
Yeah, you need to change. Yeah, Julie was confused. There you go. Okay, let's see if I can get this so that you can see everything. There we go.
There
I think we're okay.
So Ron, roll up your sleeves and show us something.
Well, first of all, would you like to know about the book I just read?
Yes.
Now, some of you might not, but I think you'll change your mind when I tell you it's about money. And this is an amazing book called The Secret. And as I read it, I gradually started believing and analyzing the book. And I realized that I had been using the law of attraction my whole life. Unknowingly, I had used it to either fulfill my wishes or let them go because I believe they would not happen. And in this book was $1. And if you believe in the law of attraction, you will find out that it says that you can make money by doing a massage of the money, and it will produce, like the magic genie, more money. And a matter of fact, the more you rub it, the more money it can produce. And we started with just $1. And the secret is in the book that if you believe, you can make money.
Well done. So who has, yep, who has comments, thoughts, response for Ron? Anybody?
Great, entertaining.
Thank you. Yeah. Eric, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I think your reveal by pulling the dollars out of the sleeves are just, that's great. I was looking for it and I didn't see it. So
Thank
I
you.
thought that was really, really well done. The only thing I would say is that when you reveal the money, it's curved because it was all rolled up.
Yeah.
And if you straighten it out, with your thumbs as it goes up, then it looks like it's just, they don't think,
Right.
well, wait, it's curved up. That's the only thing I would say to it. But your technique is great.
Well, thank you. That was one of the problems I was having was making it on curve. So I said, well, gee whiz, what happens if I come out and just show the money like so, and it's straight, and then I just produce the money in this fashion and not pull it from the sleeve, but have it all of dollar bills back to back. And you can get away with that virtually, but I don't think you can get away with it in person. Anyway, thank you for the comments.
I had a couple of thoughts for you, Ron.
Sure.
The steels looked great. I believe that you did the second steel and then immediately transferred the load to your left hand
Correct.
and then grabbed the other side of the bill, right?
Correct.
Okay. I would grab the bill first, and that way you're holding out in both hands. And then you can find a time to put your hands together when you're massaging, because that's a good reason to bring your hands together and be moving. If you do the steel and then your hands go together, it signals the transfer a little bit.
Right.
The other thing, when you to the curving, that's a good point. Sometimes if I have bills that are curving a little bit, I'll put a little bit of a crease in the middle. And
Yeah.
so that's a way to make them stand up. I don't know if that would work for how you're doing it.
It does. It does to start with, but once you roll it up and put it and keep it in the sleeve, it tends to curl no matter what you do.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking if you take it out and you show it and you put a little bit of a crease in it, maybe that would let you display it more cleanly.
When you take it out, you do this. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I don't know, just
Okay.
an idea.
Yeah.
But I would
Yeah.
definitely, when you produce a new bill, show it. I like to talk about it as like making a photograph. Pose
Okay.
with it for a moment. So you take it out, show it. It feels artificial. It is artificial, but give it a moment so that, like, pose so that somebody could take your picture and the audience can register your face, the bill you had, the new bill, and then put it down.
Okay.
Because
That's a very good point. I think I rushed through that just to get it over and done with.
A little bit. You produced it, you took it out and put it down. And,
Yeah.
kind of this moment of this mental moment of, I did this, and then you can put it away.
Okay.
So it lets the audience really kind of let it sink in. I loved the story. I love, about the book and the secret. I thought that was fantastic. I thought it was really well done.
Okay.
Couple of little tweaks. Great job.
Thank you.
Question. Is
Yeah.
a fresh bill, might a fresh starch bill be more resistant to the curving, to the rolling?
One of the
Go ahead, Gron.
one of the things that the teacher said last week is that the new bills tend to crinkle so much that it presents an auditory problem. So I was going more with old bills than new ones. So I don't have an idea on that, and something that might be tried and be worthwhile.
Of course,
I
the other
think we
option
felt
is to try it with new bills and just use loud music.
Or keep talking.
I keep telling you, shoot the arrow, then draw the bullseye. We're magicians. We're allowed to cheat. Henry, yes, you had your hand raised.
Well, you sort of talked about it, but I thought all the two performers had very original dialogue and pattern. But sorry, another alternative would be to use music, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So when does one decide on pattern or music?
It's a question of personal taste and style and performing conditions. Some pieces will lend themselves more to one than the other. Sometimes if you're doing a set and you're going to do 4 tricks, and maybe that much time of me talking is enough already, so maybe we'll do one that has some music and everybody can relax for a minute. So it's just it's a matter of taste and style.
Okay.
And what best serves the trick. Maybe you want to be talking because I need to tell my audience something important about what I'm doing. Maybe I want music because I'm going to be making some noise and I want to hide that. There's no hard and fast rule. John?
Yeah, sorry. You reminded me of something when I was talking to Lauren. My father gave me a book on magic once, and the guy in the book said that whenever you hold something, you have to hold it up so somebody in the back row could see it. And you should always hold it for like a count of 3, like as if you said, I have a pen in my hand, and mentally repeat it 3 times to give people time to see it. And so Sarah, I kind of got that kind of an idea kind of from what Sarah was saying, what you were saying, Sarah. And then that brings up for me at least, and maybe we could talk about it another time when it's better, about performances. Sometimes I think you're worried about being too slow. So we kind of rush things, there's like that dynamic tension. And so maybe we could talk about that sometime.
You're absolutely right. It often feels like we are speaking too slowly or moving too slowly because we're moving and speaking more slowly than we would in casual conversation. But if we are presenting to a group, especially to a group where some people are further away from us, then the sound needs time to reach them. They need time to look up and look at what you're holding, to realize that something important is happening, and then to register what you're doing. So if I just show you, here I have a little box and I'm going to put it away and do something with it. You didn't have enough time to see what I'm doing. I have to hold it up and say, here I have a little box. Take a message for me, Henry.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Shut this off, yeah.
Thank you. So you have to hold it and really give them, and this is a poor object because my background's a little dark, so I'm going to hold it like this so you can see a little better. You can see that this is indeed a little box. And it takes you a minute to look at, because I'm not spotlit, am I?
Oh.
Okay. That'll help. So when you're showing something, when you're saying something, you're going to speak a little slower, you're going to emphasize more, and you're going to show and hold and make your picture. Here's my picture. Be Vanna White.
All right.
Okay. Sudhir.
Yeah. So the question I had was, when Ron did the trick, he had the dollar bill held, and then he did and your comments were right that you could straighten the things out and then show the dollar bills coming out. But if you do the trick that was taught to us with rolled up thing on both sleeves and you're taking them out, how do you unroll them? I mean, how do you, they are going to remain curved, right?
Well, I think, and Ron, tell me if I'm wrong, I think the bills were rolled.
No, but he had $1 bill in hand and he said, that you can make more money by rubbing this dollar bill. And
Right.
that was very good because he could hide the one rolled up set of bills behind that.
Correct.
But if you're starting with empty hands and you're doing this and stealing two sets of rolled up thing, and then you're going to produce the bills out of your hands, how do you uncurl them, or how do you do it so that they're not very curled?
You could do the steal. So let's say
Yeah.
I have a roll in my hand.
Yeah,
I'm going to put my hands together,
yeah,
and I don't have something to show you. So I can't show you backstage because I have no roll in here.
yeah,
Assume that there's a roll right here.
yeah,
I could simply hold it there
yeah.
and reach in and start pulling one at a time up.
So as you're pulling, you're straightening out and
as I
showing
pull
them.
back,
So
I unroll
yeah,
to do that.
okay, worth a try. Thanks.
No, you play with it. You see what handling works for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
sure. Any other questions? Before we move on to today's extra special guest lecturer. Okay. So then I have, sorry, being the host is going to my head. Okay. I have the special privilege of introducing our guest lecturer today, who, as I told you, I am so thrilled with all of the wonderful magicians and the wonderful teachers that have volunteered to be guest professors for the Department of Resorcery. And I love them all. But I told you that today's was my absolute favorite, and I would tell that to any of the teachers, and none of them would try to make me say anything different. Today's guest professor is a magician for close to 50 years. He is a teacher of magic for many years, has taught hundreds and hundreds of people to do magic. He taught me. I am so delighted to be able to introduce today's guest lecturer, David Crasson, my father.
Very fun.
So here to teach us some rope magic. Hi, Dad. You can talk now.
I am on mute.
Okay.
Well, I am delighted to be here, and I've heard such exciting things about what you're doing and how excited you are about learning magic and enjoying it and sharing it. And it's just wonderful. And you're going to carry that excitement with you forever. As Sarah said, I've been doing magic for 50 years, and I'm still excited about learning magic. And magic you can learn and study forever. There were some very good points today, and I was going to mention something. You talked about not rushing, and that's so important because so often the magician is anxious to get to the finale, but you want to milk the finale. Your audience, as Sarah pointed out, has to see what you have in your hand and what you're doing. They have to hear you. It takes time for them to internalize what someone is saying. And don't forget, you're doing magic so that what they see, they won't initially believe. They may blink their eyes and look again. And so it has to be done slowly, and they have to know when the magic's going to happen. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The other reason you need not to go too fast is that you are going to be doing a sleight or a move that may take just a little bit of time. And so you don't want to rush your hands. You do everything slowly so that you have time to do the secret move without changing your tempo. And it has to look natural. Today's magic is rope magic. And the book you have is terrific. One other thing I just wanted to, in talking about the book, that is very important, and it will be most helpful to you to be sure and read all of the topics, all of the effects in the group of magic that you're studying, even if you don't not performing that particular trick, even if it's not part of the teaching lesson, because you need to learn the vocabulary. I have mentored magicians who did all of their learning by watching somebody demonstrate. And so they learned to do the move, but never learned what it was called. So when they went to study on their own and read a book, they were reading something that they were told to do, that they knew what to do, but they didn't know the vocabulary. They didn't recognize it. So that's important. Okay, today's magic is ropes. You have a big package of ropes. I hope you all have a good pair of scissors. Scissors, by the way, don't have to be large. They just have to be sharp. I use these scissors when I carry magic in my pocket. And I use these. If you have a good pair of scissors, by the way, you can sharpen them with a knife sharpener. I take out your rope, and we're going to cut 3 pieces so we have them so that we can move along as we move from one item to the other. Take out your rope and your ruler. We're going to cut a 5-foot long piece of rope. I've already cut mine. So if we can do that.
You said 5 feet, correct?
5 feet. And as I understand it, your wingspan is approximately your height. So if you just stretch it out between your arms and
go a little more. Or if you hold it,
you're under 5 feet.
Or if you hold it up to your head.
Wow, you are
Okay,
correct.
it's longer than what you're going to use, but this is what we're going to start with. Of course, we're going to cut some off, and then we'll be able to. It's an extra long piece.
And I don't want to hear any complaints because I know you all have plenty of rope.
Sarah,
You got
you're
plenty of rope,
echoing
but don't
too.
hang yourself. Good.
Are we cutting
that
3
5-foot
5-foot portions?
So just measure one 5-foot piece of rope.
Okay, thank you.
1 5-foot piece of rope.
Okay, fine.
Question, there is like a piece of tape on one end of the rope. Is that supposed to be there?
It is supposed to be there. It doesn't have, the rope is made up of various fibers. And so when you take the tape off or you cut the rope, it will start to unfurl a little bit. So at some point, we may want to tape the ends or dip them in glue or something to keep the ends together.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But this rope does not really unfurl a great deal. The beginning of your book talks about what's the word now? I forget it.
Okay, has everybody measured out their
Oh,
5-foot piece of rope?
Coring your rope.
Karen, I can't hear you.
Sarah, when
I
you
can't
talk,
see
it's
anybody.
sort of a double, I don't know if others hear it, but it's a double talk. It's probably, is your
Yeah, there's
dad?
a little echo because I'm in the same room with my father.
Okay.
This is beautiful rope. It's better than any of the rope that I've had. I haven't bought rope in 20 years. This is the original wonderful magic rope. And it's an outer shell, hemp shell. And inside, it's not solid rope. Inside are little fibers. And what happens is, as you use the rope, these fibers get loose. And so we would take some little Elmer's glue and just go around. You'd also take this to make the rope a little softer and pull some of these out. But there's no need, you cannot do it with this rope because the fibers inside are already woven together so that there's much less degrading at the ends.
Okay, so we all have our 5-foot piece of rope? Okay, so measure out your 5-foot piece of rope, but don't cut it. I'm just kidding, it's fine.
No, do cut it.
I'm kidding. Cut the rope, here. Two ends and a middle. And if I put
Okay,
the middle by the ends, I have more middle. Sorry, go ahead then.
you've got a first piece of rope that we're going to work with. I'd like to demonstrate the cut and restore rope. There are lots of ways to do it. You can do it formally to music. You can do it with a story. You can do it with a comedy. I'm going to do it with a story. So I'm going to stand and tell you my story.
Good.
Just a little bit further back so you can see the box. Good, perfect. I'm going to take you back to ancient Persia, and we're going to meet Princess Talisa. She's the daughter of a very powerful person in Persia, and they live in a castle. She's a princess. She is now grown and she is of marriaging age, but her father, as was customary in those times, was very, very concerned about who she would marry. So he established a test in order to test suitors who would come to try to take her hand in marriage. He put word out in his throughout the realm, throughout the country and in distant lands, that his daughter was of marriage age and would be available for marriage. But they would have to come to him for a trial and a test. And if they passed the test, the first suitor to pass the test would win his daughter hand in marriage. If the suitor could not pass the test, well, he would lose. his head. So they had to be very committed to do this. Well, word went out and suitors came. No one won the test. His daughter would really wanted to find a suitor who and marry for love. But that was just not the custom. So she waited while suitors went through the trial. She went and decided that she would go out into the countryside and enjoy the landscape and walking and reading under her favorite tree out in the field. One sunny afternoon when she was reading in the field, a sole horseman came by and stopped and said, "Oh, how are you? Can I join you? I'm Aver, and I would love to talk with you." She said, "Oh, I'm Talisa." And they sat and they talked and they read and they walked and had a wonderful time. And he said, "I'd like to see you again. Can I come again sometime? I'm traveling. I travel for my father." And she said, "Well, yes, I'd like that." And so he went off, and a few days later he came back. And this went on for several weeks. And finally he said, "You know, I just am adored of you. I would really like to marry you. I'd like to talk to your parents to get permission to take your hand in marriage." She said, "Oh no, you can't do that, because I'm Princess Talifa." "Oh," he said, "you're the princess where there's the testing." And she said, "Yes, and I really like you. I don't want you to get killed because nobody's completed the test." He said, "I love you. I can't live without you. I want to marry you. I'm going to go to see your father tomorrow." The next morning, he arrived at the castle and was brought to her father. And her father said, "You want to marry my daughter? Well, you have to have the test." He said, "In the box is the life rope. This represents your life. Hold it up in your hand. This is the beginning of your life. This is the end of your life. Down here is your heart. In the middle of your life. You want to marry my daughter. I want you to cut the rope, which represents your situation right now, because you and my daughter are separate. We have two equal parts. This is you, and this is my daughter. You want to bond them together. You want to be one. If you can do that with the rope of life, that's the test, that you have to join them so that you will be joined together in harmony with no obstacles in between. That's the test, and I'll wait for you to accomplish that. Well, Avro said, I think I can. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to unite myself with your daughter in harmony. And he said, I think I got it. There it is. And the father looked at the rope of life and said, no, there is a tremendous obstacle between you and my daughter. Put that rope away. Put it around your hand. I don't want to see it stretched out like that. I want you now. Oh, as a matter of fact, hide it. I don't even want to see it. As a matter of fact, you have failed. God, take him to the dungeon. At that moment, Avro said, stop. I haven't finished. I am a prince. My father is king of a distant land. And when I was young, he gave me a special coin. He said it was magical, and at some point it would define my destiny. And that if I said the magic word, Sim Salabim, that my destiny would be fulfilled. Stop. This tale has a storyline finish because there was a wonderful wedding held at the castle, and the prince and princess lived happily ever after because the end. Okay, thank you. Now, there are lots of ways to present this.
And this presentation explains why I'm single and my father has a closet full of heads.
Okay. Now, let's see. Let me show you the secret to the cut and restore rope. I'm gonna bring this. Okay, excellent. Oops. First of all, here's the knot. By the way, when you practice this, save your pieces of rope. And I'll explain why. Okay. First of all, let me say that instructions are written, and most magicians are right-handed. And so they're written with right-handed instructions. I think we have some left-handed people in the group. So I'm not going to talk about right or left. I'm going to talk about dominant hand and non-dominant hand. If you are left-handed, when I ask you to do something with your dominant hand, you're going to use your left hand. Those who are right-handed are going to use the right. You say, that becomes a problem when you read if you don't realize that the magician who wrote the book is left-handed. And I encountered that several years ago, but I encountered it just the other day when I was doing some thimble magic. So we're going to take the rope and put one piece in our non-dominant hand. Now, by the way, this is the thumb crotch way in here. We're not going to go in there. This is the thumb clip, which is in the center. We're going to start there. One piece of rope goes in the thumb clip, and you want about a good inch of rope, 1.5 inches of rope sticking up, because we're going to need that to tie. The other end of the rope comes up and goes in the pincher position, which is just behind your nail. If I pinch her with both hands, I do it this way, fingernail to fingernail. So we're going to hold the rope in here in the non-dominant hand. We go down to the bottom. We're not going to grab the rope. We're going to put our hand under the loop and bring it up, resting on our hand. Now, I want you to take that middle of the rope and put it on the outside of your non-dominant piece of rope, which means towards your wrist. take it and put it, now you have to tip your hand a little bit so it doesn't fall out. Open it up and put it in there. Once again. Ride the rope up your hand. Take the rope and put it in here in the thumb crutch. Now that's not the move. That's what the move is going to look like. Okay, let the middle of the rope go down. We're going to take, this is the move now. This is what makes the trick work. Again, put the rope on top of your hand. You are going to reach up with your thumb on your dominant hand, thumb and second finger, and you are going to grab the rope on the non-dominant side, the one closest to your wrist. At the same time, you are going to let the rope slide off your hand. So I now am grabbing this rope and I'm no longer holding the middle. My second finger is going to bring that loop up, which looks like it's the middle, and put it into the thumb crutch.
Okay, hang on, let me stop you for a minute because I had a little trouble with that.
Okay, no, we'll do it again.
Okay, so let's just start with this question. I'm gonna look at the gallery view for a second. Just wave, who's lefty? You have one lefty. Okay. All right. So we're gonna stick with the dominant, non-dominant hand. So I've got one end kind of in the middle of my thumb, second end towards the end of my thumb, and then this long piece of rope hanging. I put my hand kind of through the hole.
You let it
So
rest.
that the rope rests on the back of my hand. Are we all in this position? Okay. I see some people in this position. I see some people not so much. Okay, can we find ourselves in this position, please? Thank you. Good, good, good. Okay, now what do I grab?
All right, you're going to grab the rope, piece of rope that is on the non-dominant side,
So closer, the
The
hand
one
that
inside the thumb.
the piece of rope on the inside. And I'm gonna grab it with what?
Your thumb and second finger.
Okay,
And as you come up, as you grab the rope with the thumb and second finger, that middle slides off your first finger.
okay. You're gonna grab the rope behind your palm, not the tip, behind your palm. So you're gonna grab here. So below the thumb.
Bring it up and put it into the thumb crutch all the way on the inside.
Okay, so then the rope comes off your wrist and is now caught on that piece of rope on the inside. And then the piece of rope that you're grabbing becomes the loop, whoops, that you then place into the crotch of the thumb. Any questions? Shall we go through that again? If you have, okay, we have some questions. Let's do that again.
One more thing.
Uh-huh.
As the rope comes up and you get ready to grab this long piece of rope, the middle is sitting almost on your index finger. You take the rope, this is your wall, so that they can't see anything. If I do this way, you can't see what I'm grabbing because they see the rope come up you have to take this rope off your hand before you grab the rope, or as you do it. So it's all done behind your hand. It slips off. Once the rope is off your hand, then you bring the new loop up, the new middle, so that that's hidden. Now, it's also helpful if when you bring this up and you want to put this new loop inside, tip your hand a little bit so the rope doesn't fall off.
Now, I am finding it helpful to bring my fingers in a little bit. Because otherwise, when I go to put my loop in my hands, I have to move my thumb so I can grab the loop. I lose the outer end of rope. So if I bring my fingers in a little bit to hold the ends, and then
That's
I
good.
can move my thumb to grab the loop. Are we all together now?
Sarah,
Yes, Karen.
sometimes when your dad is doing it, he's holding his hand way out outside of the camera. So if he could hold the left hand in a little more, that'd be great.
Yes.
But
Just hold it closer to your body.
yeah,
Right, yeah,
right.
yeah, great, great.
So we're here. Karen, are you with us on this move though? Yes.
You bring the rope up. You come back behind your hand. The loop is sitting on my index finger, so my thumb and second finger can grab the other rope. I let the loop off my hand, so it's now sitting on this rope, and I bring the back loop up and put it into the thumb crutch. If you look at what you have now, you have a long rope on the outside. You have the end of, which is the end of the rope. You have the other end right here. This is what you need to see. If you don't have this loop here, this is what makes the trick work. Because what you're going to do is you're going to cut this, which is not really the middle, but it's going to become the new end. And this is going to become, and so you're going to have, look like you have two pieces of rope. But you, before you cut, look and be sure that you have this loop here. When I first did this, I read the book, I cut the rope, I took my hands apart, I had two separate pieces of rope. I said, no, that's not right. Okay, because I didn't look to make sure I had this. Okay. One more time. This is the whole.
So when you're looking at your hand, after you've done the move, I have on the outside a piece of rope that goes all the way down. The second piece goes down, loops back up, loops, and is caught in my hand. So it goes like an N, and then comes down and has this long tail. Are we all looking at kind of the same thing now?
Sarah, this is Jackie.
Yes.
Could you pin yourself when you do that? Because I can't, you're so tiny on the little picture that I can't really see what you're doing.
Sorry about that. You're absolutely right. Okay,
There you go.
one more time.
Okay, okay, now I can see you. But
Okay,
you're,
so it
move
goes,
your hand closer to you because you're where all the people are on the, yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
so here are my two ends. One by the edge of my thumb,
You
the other by the
disappeared.
knuckle.
You disappeared.
I disappeared.
Oh,
No, you're there.
I got, now I've got join a meeting Zoom, so I don't know what happened.
You're still in the meeting.
I can see you, but up here, if your dad's gone, there's no big picture anymore. All I got is the little pictures now. I don't know. I didn't
in
touch
the-
anything.
In the top right, there should be a little button that it says view. And if you click on it, it should have options for speaker, gallery.
Oh, you're back in.
Everything's disappearing.
What do you see?
I just see myself now. It's just a little tiny square of me. Okay, now I can see the five little squares, but I can't see the big picture anymore.
In the top right, do you see anything that says view?
Nope. Nope.
She may not be on PC. She may be on Mac. or
Are you on a
something.
phone?
I'm not on the phone, no. I'm on my computer.
Okay,
And now it says Zoom, join a meeting, sign in, and then it says a leader in the magic quadrant, and I didn't
Okay.
touch anything, so something happened.
well, you're in the meeting.
Okay.
So is it possible you minimize the window?
I see here it says hide thumbnail video, then there's a little thing that says show active speaker. So I click on that, nothing
Sure.
happened. Then there's show thumbnail video. But I don't know what happened. I'm wondering if I should just sign out and sign in again because
Okay,
there's
why don't we try that?
okay, something's wrong.
Okay. Go out and come back in. I'll let you right back in.
Okay.
Okay. So just while we wait. So the two ends at the knuckle and the thumb tip. The hand goes underneath into the loop at the bottom.
Hold by let this finger by your fingers, right?
Okay, thank you. Across the knuckles of the dominant hand. Then between the thumb and the middle finger, we clip behind the non-dominant hand. We clip the inner piece of rope.
When you say, is the word you're saying CLIP?
Yes, clip between these two fingers. Just grab it.
Oh, okay.
So we grab it here. The rope, the loop of rope over your dominant hand. That's the middle of the rope, this piece right here. That loop is then going to fall over your hand. And you pull the piece that you just clipped with your fingers and place it in the crotch of the thumb. So it looks like, looking at the back of the hand, I have the ends and I have the middle that I just placed in there. What I actually have is one end, two ends, and then a loop that I just made that's very close to the end that's just under the knuckle. So it's this.
And they want to look and see that they have.
I hope this is right. Does that look okay?
Julie, let me spotlight you.
Does that one look fine, you think?
I see.
It's like a little loop right there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay, all right, thank you.
The only thing is that it looks like the loop is at the tip of your finger. You want the loop in the crotch. So you're going to show the two ends near the tips of the fingers. The ends are on the outside, the loop is on the inside. Yeah. Good. Okay. Any questions about that? I'm just gonna take a quick look at the gallery. Anybody have questions about that move? Good, Eric, I see you've got it. Linda, well done. Henry, Ken, yeah, yeah. Paul, good. Ron, I can't quite see what you're doing there.
I think I got it once, but I
Okay.
kind of frustrated with this.
John,
Let's see.
Lauren, I see you've got it there. John, it should end up so that you have the two ends on the outside of the hand and the loop on the inside. Good. Karen, a little to your right. Yeah. You've got the loop on the outside and the ends on the inside. Can you reverse those so you have the ends on the outside?
Oh. Yeah.
Good here, yeah.
Here, yeah. Jackie, good. Everybody's looking good. Henry, yeah. Okay, great. So we're all in this position.
Now have them look at the back and see if they see a rope, a loop. That loop is the key.
So just holding it like this. This is what it looks like when I
Good.
spread it out. You don't have to do this part. I'm just doing this to make it easy for you. So is everybody looking at the right thing in their hand? Okay, wave if you have any questions. Okay, good. So we're all in this position. What do we do next?
Okay, here we go. Take your scissors. Now be sure that you have a good bit of, a good inch and a half of ends here.
I can't see.
And that the loop
Get closer to his
is the
body.
same
Dad,
size.
hands towards you.
Okay, well, I'm
Right.
trying to show the back, all right.
Okay,
We're
but if your
now
hands are
gonna-
off camera, they can't see anything.
Okay, we're now going to cut the loop. Excellent.
So now, what's in your hand should be long, yeah, this way, long end, little loop, long end. Make sense? Okay.
The two outside pieces, just take a look at your hand from the back. And you should see that these two inner pieces are really two short pieces holding on to the loop here. So we're going to let down the outside here. I'm going to switch hands and let down the other side, and it looks like I've got two pieces of rope. Now,
Wow, very clever.
to show it, to emphasize two pieces, they've just seen you cut it. I've got one, two pieces of rope, cut in half. You're going to hold the rope between your thumb and first finger, and the
He's off
third,
camera.
fourth, second, third, and fourth finger are your wall to hide what's here. You don't want to show that. You're now going to take your dominant hand and you're going to tie a knot. You're going to do it with your one hand, and just pull it tight, but keep that inside your hand like this. So you're tying two pieces together. Once you've tied it, you can separate it and say, ta-da, restored. And of course, they'll go ho hum. You might say, well, I'm just learning magic. This is what I could do. Take the rope now, hold it in your non-dominant hand. Take your other hand and wrap it around. When you get to the knot, no, start up here and wrap around tight. Bring your hand down and bring it around your wrist. As you get to the knot, you're going to get the long piece of the knot in your hand, and you're going to pull the knot down and slide. I'm sliding the knot down like this as my hand comes down the rope.
Funny.
Now, you've got a knot in your hand, and the big rope in the other hand. Your dominant hand has the rope. One of the things
Your dominant hand has the knot.
I'm sorry, your dominant hand has the knot. We need to get rid of it.
Oh,
You can go to your pocket. I went to the packet that I had into the and a bag or anything that you have, and come out with a coin. Gee, I don't have a wand, but I have a magic coin. And wave your hand. When you go into the pocket, you come out with your hand showing the coin, because you leave the knot in your pocket. Wave your coin over the knot. Put the coin back in your pocket. They've seen an empty hand come up and an empty hand go down. And then you unfurl the rope, and it's restored.
ta-da.
Now,
Sarah?
what I did into my routine is I tied the knot, wound the rope around my hand with the scissor in my hand. So I took the knot in my hand, and when I put the scissors away and emphasized my hand, there was some forgetting that I went to the box. And now I went into the bag and came out with the coin. I went in with an empty hand and came out with an empty hand. That's something that you can do. But you can make a joke at that point that now it's restored. I don't have a magic wand. I have a coin. That's a reason for going through your pocket. This is the whole basis for the cut and restore rope. This is a stage effect. You can do this for 500 people in an auditorium. You can do it for 10 people in your living room. You can do it for 2 people. This is a very flexible trick. Now, I'd like to show you a second method.
Before we go on to the second method, first of all, you're absolutely right. This is something that plays huge. I have seen magicians do this on cruise ships. I have seen magicians do this at conventions. Hundreds and hundreds of people, or for 5 people in your living room. One of the important things to remember is that once you're here, you are now dirty. You are now holding out. And so as the magician, we need to ditch the knot. Dramatically, however, we need a reason to do that. We can go and pick up a coin. We can already have something in our hand. So my father used the scissors. Now we need to put this away. We have a reason to go to our table, to a bag, to whatever we're using. You can also, this is another great use for a magic wand. Now I am in this situation. I need to heal the rope. Clearly I need to do some magic. Let me find the tool that will help me do that. My magic wand, my wiffle dust, my magic coin, whatever it is that you need. And that is a reason for this hand to go away and come back with whatever prop you're going to use. Make sense? Any
Sarah.
questions?
Yeah, Sarah, can you do from the beginning again? Because I still haven't gotten to the part where I can cut the rope.
Okay.
Because I couldn't see so much with your father because there's a border on his, so maybe I could see on yours.
Yeah.
There's no border
Okay.
on yours.
All right, I will take you through it
Okay.
because I have
Thank you.
widescreen.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, we take one end of the rope at the knuckle of the thumb.
Right.
Second end of the rope at the thumb tip.
Okay.
The hand goes inside the rope,
Right.
so you're stretching it out. The middle of the rope is on the back of your dominant hand.
Let it sit on the
Right.
fingers.
Right, sitting on the fingers. Thank you for reminding.
Okay.
The hand, as the hand comes up, between the thumb and the middle finger, grab the rope under the thumb. That's the rope on the inside, under the thumb. The middle section of the rope falls off the fingers,
Okay.
and the piece of rope you're holding between the middle finger and the thumb comes up, taking its place visually, and then gets clipped in the crotch of the thumb. So you're looking at end and fake middle. Are we all together?
Yeah, except I have this extra piece.
Okay.
I'm having a little trouble
let's-
seeing. I'm having a little
That's
trouble
okay.
seeing because I also have closed captioning here, which I kind of have to use because I can't hear everything. So it kind
Okay.
of is in front of some of the picture. So I'm trying
Okay,
to just
so-
see.
Show me
So I
your
have this.
hands so I can see what you're doing.
I'm on a tablet, so.
Can you turn around? Yeah. Okay, start again.
Hey, honey,
It's really simple.
how do you raise your hand for a question?
The ends, over on across the fingers
Right.
and grab. I can't see your hand now, though. Yeah.
That's a question. Well, you can, wait.
Can you see it?
Sort of.
Oh, right there.
Okay, and now show me where you are. Where's the extra?
Let me turn a little bit this way. Maybe it helps.
If, there you go. Turn on the
Yeah,
light.
it fades in and out. I'm on a tablet.
No.
Is there a light in the room? Do you have an
Not
overhead
that's
light?
not that's
a lamp?
gonna. It's no, nothing really. It's gonna work.
Turn a light on.
Can
Yeah,
you
that's
can you
not
put
gonna really work.
can you put the tablet on the windowsill and face the window?
That's about it.
Can you lift the tablet up and put it on the windowsill?
No, because there's no way to hold it there. It's not, believe me, there's no way to hold
I
it.
can see you now. Let's try again.
Okay. Let me put it down here.
Okay, show me what you're grabbing. Okay, you're grabbing in the wrong place. That's where you're running
Is
into
it too
trouble.
high?
Okay. So we're in this position. Grab with these, with your thumb and your middle finger.
Right.
Grab under your left thumb. Under the thumb.
Under my thumb.
There you go. And when you pull up the piece that you have in your fingers, yes,
That's it.
the piece
Okay,
that's
got it.
on your hand slides off.
Right.
And now
Okay.
the piece that you grabbed in between your thumb and your finger goes into the
That one.
crotch of the thumb.
Got it. Think I got it. Okay,
You
thanks.
got
Sarah.
it.
Yeah,
Good
thank
job.
you. Thanks.
Okay, Sarah. This is tipped and comes off before they move so that it doesn't rise.
Yeah.
if they do it up here, you can see it, it's done behind the hand.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, so
okay, good.
it's a good point, and I'm doing it kind of very broadly and obviously, so that you can see what I'm doing. When you practice this, and you're all gonna practice it, because we remember that you all promised. You're gonna practice it in the mirror, so that as you practice bringing the hand up, so that the actual middle of the rope never rises above the plane of your wall hand.
So,
Okay. You need to move on camera, Dad.
am I on camera? No,
Can you see yourself?
Yeah, all right,
You gotta move your hand towards your chest.
okay. When you bring your hand, when you take the middle of the rope up, if you were gonna bring it and put it in your hand, it would be here close on to your fingertips. So bring it up close to your fingertips. Grab the rope, this rope on the thumb side with your thumb and second finger, and then tip your hand down behind so that the part of the middle of the rope that was sitting on top of your hand is now sitting on the rope that you're now going to bring up, so that it's not above the hand at all. It's the rope, middle of the rope is by my fingertips, thumb and index finger, grab the rope, and it's already sitting. Here it is, sitting on the rope before I bring my false middle up and put it then on the inside.
Okay,
Yeah, you want to look and be sure now, just to check. I'm going to look right here, and I want to see this. I want to see this loop right here. Then I know when I cut, I'm not really cutting the rope in half. This is what you want to look for. And it's easy to do because you have your fingers are up high. The middle of the rope is here. You want to see this.
So if you see this
This
N
false.
shape, then you're doing good. I can't really, here we go. Wait. Okay, if you see the N that this makes here, wait, this goes down, under the loop, up, back up, and then all the way down. If you see that loop, that N, you're cutting the right thing.
And it's all in the non-dominant hand, right? We're holding it.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, so are we all ready to cut?
Sarah, Lauren?
Yes.
The only problem I see is that when you say, I'm gonna cut it in half, when your dad cut it and then the ropes dropped, when you're looking at the bottom, they're not in half. It's
Gonna be off. You're absolutely right. You're not cutting it in half.
And it doesn't.
It's not perfect halves.
Yeah, it's because when he said I cut in half, I looked at the end and I go, well, that's not half. So
The one way to deal with that is to not use the word half.
Right.
And say, I'm gonna cut this into two.
Right.
Shoot the arrow, then draw the bottom, then draw the bullseye. But you're right, and there are ways to perform it that, kind of make a joke out of the fact that you're trying to find the middle and having a hard time finding the middle. So the fact that the cut is eventually not precisely in the middle makes sense.
Yeah.
But I would just say, we're gonna make two pieces of rope. We're gonna cut the rope.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to say we're gonna cut it in half.
The other thing you can do at that point, if you want, is to say, oh, it's not exactly in half, but I can correct that. I'm a magician. And just pull it down. No, go what?
Cheat.
Cheat.
I love it.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, so we're now in this position.
Okay.
Actually, I'm good. Okay.
Everybody check. You check to make sure you've got
You got your N.
that N. Be sure that these are up about the same length because remember, you're gonna have to tie a knot. Don't be cheap. Okay, sometimes I would cut them. I didn't want to waste rope. And then I wouldn't have enough rope to tie the knot.
Right, you got it.
Okay, so we're gonna cut.
That's why I got you a lot of rope.
That's why, right. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna cut the rope. And hold everything just the way it is.
Make your picture. Let the audience see.
Make your picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ends. And 2 middles. That means I have that the outside ends go down. Means I've got 2 ropes. And if you want, you can pull the sides just to kind of emphasize that.
Okay. Then you're going to tie the tops together.
You're going to use your wall. Your non-dominant hand is going to make a wall for you. And you're going to work behind it. Keep a hand in front. Hide the knot. Slide your hands just off the knot. Ta-da-da! Oh, and they go, oh.
The more proud you look, the funnier it is.
Oh, that absolutely. I'll go, oh, come on. Oh. Okay.
It was a cheap class and you get what you pay for.
That's right. But it works. They love the magician's in trouble. They like that. Okay. Hold on to this end of the rope, put your other hand on it and slide your hand down and run the rope around your hand till you get to the knot. Pull the knot down and keep going around. Keep that knot inside your hand. If your ends are kind of long, just as you're doing it, scrunch them up and get them in a ball. And now you can use your scissor, magic scissors, and put them away. And now you're clean. Unravel the rope, and now a big smile. Ta-da-da.
Okay, excellent.
Very good.
Okay, we're going to move straight forward to the next piece because
Okay.
we are using our time here. So
Okay. The second cut and restore rope. This version is really done by yourself. You can't use a helper with this because you're doing all of this. But here's another way to get into the cut and restore rope. Again, you hold the rope with a big piece hanging over your hand in your non-dominant hand. You bring up the bottom and you bring it behind your hand and put the rope in your dominant hand between your first and second finger. And as you come across, you're going to switch hands. I'm going to grab the other rope. I'm going to let go of this one and grab the rope that's in my non-dominant hand. And I'm going to keep my first and second finger around the rope I just brought up. Put it in between, switch hands and bring this rope down. I'm going to bring it, a bit ways down below the bottom of the loop. And I'm going to pull, not pull, I'm just going to move my hands so that I'm going to take about that much, because these are going to be my strings. Here's my loop. I created the loop already. Okay, I'm going to stretch this out to about halfway, and this is where I'm going to cut it. And I'll get a pretty equal size rope. Let me show you that again. Non-dominant hand holds the top of the rope. The bottom rope comes up in front of your hand as far as the audience is concerned, and goes in between your scissor fingers, crosses the other rope, and as it does, I'm going to leave this one and take this one. Meanwhile, this rope that I'm taking stays between the scissor fingers and pulls down. Looks like I just took the rope from over the top. Looks like I just went over like that, but there's no loop there. I'm going to switch ropes. This is the one I'm going to pull down. The dominant rope goes in between the fingers and I leave it. I grab the rope that was in my non-dominant hand, and I pull it down below the loop that I've created. And now I'm going to go up to the loop body and pull out a bit about the size of the rope that's hanging there. And here's what I have. So I'm going to end up cutting a small piece of rope off the top, and it's going to look like I'm cutting the rope in half. All right, do it with me. Take the top of the rope in your non-dominant hand, get about 1.5 inches sticking out between the thumb and first finger. The bottom of the rope comes up towards the audience side of your hand, and put it between your first and second finger of your non-dominant hand. And as you bring it up, just catch it with the thumb. So it's behind the thumb. And now you take the rope that was there to start with and pull it down. So you've switched ropes. And now what you have is you have your end. Okay, I'm going to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it one time real quick, see if we can
Okay.
get a good look at it. So I'm here in this position. Rope is clipped at the knuckle. The other end in my dominant hand goes out towards the audience, back towards me, between the first and second fingers of my wall hand. And as it comes through,
Just clip it under
I
the thumb.
swap. I'm sorry?
Clip it under the thumb.
Yeah. As it comes through, I swap and grab this one instead. And then I pull. And so what I've done is I've created the piece of the end. I've created a little loop, and now I'm pulling the rope through the loop. And then I'm going to go up. And now I have long end, little loop end, and then I grab the little loop. And if I look at the back of my hand, this is the piece I'm gonna cut, which loops down, and I'm gonna cut about this much rope. Make sense? Should we do it again? Okay. One end of the rope clipped in my wall hand at the knuckle of the thumb.
When you say wall hand, W-A-L-L?
Right, this is my wall.
Oh, I got it.
You can't see behind it.
Got it. So you're not referring to dominant or non-dominant?
Not for the moment.
Okay.
because wall is a shorter word. So my wall hand has the rope at the knuckle of the thumb. The other hand with the other end, show to the audience, goes in front of the wall hand, comes back towards me, goes between, under the first finger of the wall hand, crosses over. Are we all here? Okay. Now I'm gonna leave that, grab it with the thumb, now this is the secret part, you're gonna do it quickly and smoothly. I'm doing it slowly and broadly to illustrate. So the thumb clips the end you just brought up. You grab the end that was there in the wall hand first, and you bring it down. Okay,
That's it, low. No, don't bring it back up. A little bit below the loop.
okay. So here it is. Now what?
Now, let go of that. Go back up to your top and hold this out. This should be the middle of your rope.
Okay,
Okay? No, don't put it together. Just hold it out like this. It stays out. This is different. This is what you're going to cut.
okay,
Now, if you have a spectator come up, you do this. When you bring the rope up and clip it, the three fingers on your dominant hand that don't have the rope are your wall. And you bring your hand over that and cover it and come back down. And now all I'm going to do is come straight down. And now I've got a loop of rope. I come back, I let go of the rope. This rope should be below the loop about a little bit. And now you've got a loop of rope. You're going to pick up the top up here, and this should be the middle of your rope. If you look though, it's not, because you've got this is what you've got.
so you make your little pinch of rope, and that goes into your hand,
And
and then you're gonna.
no,
cut here,
you're
right?
not going to pinch it. Going to hold it out like this, and they're going to have a spectator cut the middle of the rope right there.
Okay,
And if you do it on your own, you say, this is the middle of the rope.
Right.
And you cut the rope out here.
okay,
So it's a different, it's this, you do the same thing, but it looks very different.
nice.
Okay? Now,
I'd like to move on to the next trick.
what?
Can we move on to the next trick?
Well, I want to show how you restore this because it's different.
Okay,
I'm going to, and this is why you save your rope, because this allows you now to practice. Here I am. Okay, this is what I had, and I cut my rope. So there I am with two pieces of rope. This is a different restoration. Now I'm going to bring the ends up. I've got two, first I assumed I got two pieces of rope, and I like to do this, bring it down and then get your pieces even. You don't want them hanging out like that. That doesn't look like two pieces of rope. Now I cut it and look what I got. Two pieces of rope. I'm going to bring the ends up. Bring them up and put them in your hand, one on either side. So you're back to this. You've got your two long pieces and your hook in the middle. This is what you have behind your hand. Now, you're holding the rope in your non-dominant hand. Your dominant hand is going to grab the rope that's in second place by the top. On the thumb side, you want the thumb and first finger holding the top. That hand is going to start to come up, And you're going to grab the rope over here, the rope that you skipped, that's in first place. And now you're going to pull everything out of your hand. And the rope is restored.
So I'm turning my hand, my non-dominant hand, my empty hand, upside down, thumb down, and I grab one of the short ends, right?
Right.
And then as I pull out, I turn the hand right side up.
Yeah, get it well into the hand.
Okay.
Because you want to, you push, you start to pull that up, turn your hand over, and grab
the outside
the
rope.
outside rope. And you'd like to have them overlapped if you can. So you're holding both
Okay.
ropes touching each other in this hand.
Oh, that's fun.
Now you hold all the ropes together. You pull this hand out and open it up, and you're restored. And the ropes are in both positions. Of course, you got a short one here. But that's it. Then you can take your ropes and put them together. Of course, they're deep in your hand. You can say, and show them, put them away, and it's clean.
That's really cool. I like that. And it's going to be one kind of fast, smooth motion. It's going to take a little practice to do that.
You do it slowly, smoothly, and pull it out, and it's just so beautiful and clean and easy.
Yeah. So, forgive me. One slow, smooth motion. Slow is fast. Okay, thank you. Any questions before we move on? I know that was a lot of information. You'll have the video, the book will help. I know you know how to reach me by email.
What page in the book? Do we know that?
I didn't bring my copy of the book.
What do you
I
want
will
to know?
email all of you.
237, 237.
What do you want to know?
237, thank you.
Pages?
237.
And the second one's 239.
Thank you.
Great, thank
237 is the first version, and the
And
second,
239.
and 240 is the second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Page.
Got it. Okay. Oh, we can get in a quick one. You have one of the knots.
Yeah. Okay. If you don't want to work with scissors, there's still a lot of great rope magic you can do. I'd like to show you a false knot. The false knot in the book, I didn't really like, because you tie it and just pull it and it disappears, and it's not magical. This is magical. We just did a setup for the cut and restore, and this is very similar to get into the knot. I'm going to hold the rope by my knuckle on the first, between the thumb and first finger of my non-dominant hand. I'm going to bring the rope with my dominant hand in front and put it between, this time lower, between my second and third finger. No, let me change that. No, I'm correct. I'm okay. All right. I bring this rope, I don't have to bring it in front. I'm going to bring it behind and put it on top of the other rope. I'm going to cross it, but I want the rope in my dominant hand to go between my second and third finger. So this is where I am. I'm going to reach through the loop and grab the knot on my dominant side. I'm going to keep these fingers clipped on the bottom rope. I pull the top loop through, keeping the rope on my finger. And I have a knot. It's a false knot because if I hold it, I can pull it off the rope like that and it vanishes. Now, hold the rope in your non-dominant hand. The dominant hand rope goes behind your hand in between the second and third finger. So you're merely holding an X. Now, if I were just to pull this rope through, there's no knot. In order to make a knot, if I come to the loop, I have to pull the top rope through. That's what makes this a false knot. I'm going to grab the rope that's underneath. Going to go through the loop, but I have to hold the loop between in my non-dominant hand, between my second and third finger. As I do that, the rope pulls as if it were making a knot. I pull it until it gets to my fingers, and then I just use my fingers as a wall. There's no knot here. This is really a bite. This is what I've got. I've got a bite around this loop. It's really a slip knot. In order to reel, and you pull it tight, be careful. It's released from the top end. If I go this way, it won't come off. If I go this way, it unties. Make an X, bringing the dominant side rope between your second and third finger, so you have a loop. Go through from yourself towards the audience, go underneath and grab the rope that is underneath, which is sticking to the dominant side. As you pull it, it's eventually going to come off your fingers. Let everything slip off until only your second finger is holding it. Then let it go behind your wall. Pull from the bottom. Now you have a loop, so you have to get rid of that, and you get rid of that by pulling the top. If you pull it too much, it'll untie on you, but you do the pulling behind your hand, and there's a nice looking knot.
Mine keeps slipping out.
Mine too.
Okay?
Well, I think it just takes a little practice to get the right tension. Oh. Okay, there we go. Takes a little practice to get the right tension. When I've got my two ends in my non-dominant hand, the dominant hand goes through the loop, grabs the audience side of the outer end.
Did you
And
pin
then-
yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Okay, starting again. So one end clipped in the hand, at the tip of the thumb. Dominant hand comes in with the second end. It goes in front towards the audience, back, and between the middle and third finger. and crosses over. So now I'm holding an X with one rope going through my hand. Okay, we all that far? Okay. Now, my dominant hand goes through the loop from the back, the audience side. I'm gonna grab the outer end, which was in my hand to begin with, and I'm gonna bring it back down and through the and back through the loop towards me.
Now curl the index finger as you pull.
Okay, so we curl the fingers in. And now we pull, 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 pull. Take up all the slack. And this piece right here, this loop around my fingers is all that's gonna keep this knot from flattening out. So as it gets tighter, tighter, the idea is that place where my fingers were, that loop where my fingers were, becomes like a bite. And so it's not gonna slip, it's tight enough that it's not gonna slip through.
Keep pulling.
It's gonna go.
No, okay, now,
I don't have the hang of it yet.
okay, no, in order to control the tension, as you pull, once you get here where you've got the bite and you're now want to close the knot up, bring the hand that's got the rope from the bottom, bring it closer because that's where your control is. You have no control down here. Bring your hand up and you'll start to pull. Now you pull from the top. As the rope starts to go in, you can see that it's tight and you'll notice stop.
Okay.
But because you do this behind your hand, you're
Okay.
doing this back here.
That gives me a lot of control. Okay, let's show you that. All right, so I go back into my starting position, hand goes through, grab the first piece of rope that was there from the back, pull it through the loop. I'm holding what will become my bite with my finger here. And pull, 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 pull. And now that I've reached this sort of tangle position, I'm gonna release the end, grab up here and pull some more. And now I'm kind of holding the knot in my non-dominant hand. And I can feel how much tension I have. And I can even change hands and grab the top and shrink the bite a little bit and then give it another pull. And I have control of my slip knot with my non-dominant hand. So I don't pull too much and release it. And now I can show it, and that looks pretty good. And then when I'm ready, I can pull a little bit more. Good air.
But I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Okay, the whole idea of the invisible knot is that I would, and we'll get into this, I would then do the magic, bring it down, take it off the rope.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, show that off the rope it's invisible and put it in your pocket. Or take it off, put it in your pocket. And say, oh, let me show it to you, and take out the knot. Now, in order to do that, you have to make a knot. And all you do is take your rope, do it on a long rope, tie a knot, cut this off as close close to the ends as you can. Take a little bit of Elmer's glue and you'll glue the ends to keep them, because all you want to show is the knot. And then glue around wherever the rope touches it, just a dab of glue, and it will hold, and you can have a knot that you can produce and take out of your pocket. If you want to go even further, make a knot and leave an end sticking out. And you can hold that in your hand. Now you tie your knot, keeping the back of the hand towards your audience. As I pull the rope, I'm going to let this rope that's on my finger go inside. I'm going to bend my finger so that it's not hanging on my finger. I'm going to let it go like that. And I'm going to begin inside my hand to pull the rope tighter. I can take my hand and I can pull this. That's tighter now by pulling up on the rope inside my hand. And if I pull the top, that bite goes inside. And now it's nice and tight. Remember, I got this knot in my hand because I tied a knot and I left a little piece sticking out so it can fit in my finger. And I can go down and take the knot off the rope and show it. And this is something you can do without tying. You can do it for friends on the street. But gee, let me show you something with a rope. And now you've got knot. You can pull one in your pocket. When you come out of your pocket, put this in your hand. You can take this off the rope and put this in. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun with the knot. I just like to tell you one more thing. I don't want you to miss it in the book. It doesn't look so exciting. It's on page 248, cut and restore string. And it's not something you say, oh, that's ridiculous. And I used, just to make it a little bit bigger, you can use string. If you get yarn, it works nicely. I've got 2 pieces of yarn. Oh, that's not, I don't have to cut. Okay, got 2 pieces of yarn. You get somebody to say, look, would you hold on to those? I mean, I tell a story about being the one running away to a circus and wanting to be in the circus, but I couldn't do anything because I'm afraid of lions and tigers and heights. I can't do, but I could be the strong person because I eat vegetables. And I'll say, you hold on to this end, you hold on to the other end. And I let them hold on to the rope. And I say, hey, then I'm holding, pull the rope, pull it, you need to pull it out of my hand. And they say, no, actually, I could be the strong man or I could be the magician. And they look at that and it's one piece of rope. And how do you do that? You make the middle become the ends and the ends become the middle. If you need some piece of yarn or string that has an even number of threads, this has 4 threads, and I'm going to take 2 in each hand and pull them apart. I'm going to hold the part where I stop pulling because I don't want it to go any further, and I'm going to twist them back so it looks like the original piece of yarn. And here I am with, because I've done this with this, I've got 2 pieces of yarn now. And I really only have 1. You can do this with a prepared piece of yarn. Where it is now, all right.
What do you need?
Oh, here it is. Got a loop of yarn, piece of yarn. I'd cut it in half. Watch carefully. Restored. What you do for this is first thing you do is take the ends, put a drop of Elmer's glue on the flat piece, about an eighth of an inch. Put the other piece on top, glue them together, and then just roll them a little bit in your hand, and it will look like one piece. Then you find the end opposite, the part that you glued, and you open that up like this and make it look like the ends. So now you've made the ends the middle and the middle the ends. You can cut here. And now to restore it, you need to get it into the center of your hand. You need to pull the ends. I do this I let people, either one person hold it or two. I let them hold the ends. And as they do, I pull on the ends a little bit. You need to cover that. So it's covered in your hand. If you're doing it on your own, you pull it like this just to stretch it out. Now it's a little bit loose because you pulled it apart. So while it's still in your hand, you're pulling it apart to stretch it out. I lay it on my hand like this and kind of just roll it. And that makes it nice and tight. And you'd never know that it was opened up. And you can do a cut and restore piece of yarn, or you can hold one piece of yarn like this and show that you've got two, because it's separated, and it's something nice. The yarn is good. This is a little bit bigger, and I looked everywhere to find these. This is a mop head, but again, you need a mop. I bought a mop head. I got 500 pieces of these, and I had to slit the bags open and look to be sure that they had even pieces. Some mops have 3 pieces together. That doesn't work because they're not even. This has 2. And you do the same thing. You twist the ends. Now the middle has become an end. If I glue these 2 together, I show 1 piece of string. If I've got 2, there I am, 1, 2. This is really the middle of the rope, but you don't show that. So I hold on to it. You have to stretch it. Rub it in your hand. It goes back to its original shape and it's restored. Don't ignore it. If I read it, I would ignore it. Don't ignore it. It's so beautiful and so nice to carry. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. That was great.
Great.
Before we take questions, and I'm going to open the floor to questions in a second, I need some volunteers. So we have a couple of different versions of cut and restore rope. Linda, you put your hand up first. What would you like to do?
First one,
I'm sorry?
the first thing we did.
The first one? Okay, the cut and restore. You got it. And Eric, I saw your hand go up. What would you like?
Yeah, could I do this, the last one, the false knot?
False knot?
Not the last one, but the false knot?
Got it, false knot.
Yeah,
Penultimate piece.
yes, penultimate, yes.
The penultimate.
Love that word.
Thank you.
And let's see. Henry, I don't know that we've seen from you yet.
Was that me?
I don't have you down as having performed for us before.
Oh, I'll take the cut and restore second version.
Second cut and restore?
Second version.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the second version, yeah.
You got it. Okay. So that takes care of us for 2 weeks from today. Any questions, comments? I know that you have to go.
Yeah, can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Okay, don't rush. Do it slowly. And also remember that there's no guilt in magic. When you say, I'm folding the rope in half, or whatever it is, or I'm putting a coin in my hand, and you don't look guilty that because you telegraph that. Believe what you're saying, and your audience will believe what you're saying. Enjoy your magic and smile.
Good. Excellent tips.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other? There you go. Yes, Eric.
Yeah. Well, for the false knot, the one that I signed up for, I actually learned that in the book under scarves on page 272.
Okay.
So it's the dissolving knot in the book, and it's the same exact knot but with a scarf. So,
Okay.
but in that you tie the knot and then you blow on it or whatever, and it disappears. So
Got it.
you don't get to play with it. I like the addition with the rope, with the playing with the knot.
Well,
So-
and I think that it's a good point, because with a silk, there's more fabric, there's more movement. And so it's not as obvious what's going on. With a rope, the knot is a lot easier to see. So, it's not as mysterious when a knot disappears.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Any other questions? Okay then. All right, thank you all so much. We will see you in 2 weeks for Silk Magic.
Sarah,
Yes, Sudhir.
I'm going to be gone till June 1st. I'm going to go to Istanbul, so it's
You
going
don't
to
have
be
the
difficult
internet
for
in
me to see
Istanbul?
it. My daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughter live in Istanbul, so we're going to go visit there.
Okay, I forgive you.
Thank you.
Of course,
I
no
will-
problem. You
I will
still
watch the
get email.
videos.
You'll get email, you'll have the videos, and we'll see you when you return.
June
Do we
1st,
run
so I'll see you
past
for the
that?
June 4th.
Oh, can I make one more comment?
course.
To them? I told you earlier that you have to be sure whether you're reading right-hand magic or from a magician who's right-handed or left-handed. And I will make a suggestion to left-handed people that I found very helpful. And I'd like you to do this in your book, because if you do it, it will help you when you read other books on your own. I gave you dominant hand and non-dominant. When you are reading the explanation and they say right-handed and you're left-handed, just put an L over the R every place it appears. And the same thing, reverse it for the left hand. When you look at the diagrams, note whether the diagram is given to you, whether your hand is facing you or it's facing the audience. And again, label the hands, because you'll go from the written to the picture and it will be very confusing. You'll get about halfway through and not remember which hand is which. So label the hands in the diagram, and that will enable you to go easily through instructions to convert from right hand to left hand. And if the reverse is true, as I found, as I said, just the other day, I was doing some thimble magic and I got part way through. I said, wait a minute. And I went back and I relabeled the diagram and I noted in the explanation, I changed the letters, and it was much easier for me to continue. So I think that might help some of you. Of course, you're going to take this on and you're going to begin on your own to find some other books or on specific topics that you like. And you might find that very helpful.
Good tip.
Yeah, great tips. Thanks. Now we know
Thank
why
you,
you.
David. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you know what? He's my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks for Silk Magic with yet another guest professor. Yes, Henry.
Oh, sorry, I just short question. If I should want to order more of these, this type of rope, what
Good question.
is there a special name for this? What type of rope do I order?
Generally, people just refer to it as magician's rope.
Magician's rope.
It's, you know, your local magic shop will have it and will know what it is. You want rope that's soft, that's thick, that's bright white,
Yeah.
or colored if you want to use a colored rope. But the idea is that it's thick, it's visible from the stage, and it's easy to cut.
Okay, so magician's rope, so it'll be cord and soft and okay.
Yeah, if you purchase magician's rope at your magic shop, they know what it is, and you'll get something like this. If you
Okay.
go to a hardware store and buy a clothesline, very different thing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. But I got you 50 yards. 50 feet, 50 feet. That's what I got you.
Oh.
You have a lot of rope.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So see you all soon. I will send out the link when I have it, and you know how to find me if you have any questions. Thank you all so much. And
Thank you,
we'll see
David.
soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Mr. Crasson.
Yeah.
You're very explained it very well. Very, very well.
All right. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Crasson team, awesome.
Oh yeah, all Crasson all the time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.